node is having two parts. First one is it is having its own data, that means the value of the node and reference to the next node. Okay, now examples of data can be of integer like age, it can be a character like name. Okay, and what about reference? It will hold the next address information. Now the linked list is consisting of a starting node is called as head node, and the node which is reference to the pointer for the next node is called as last node with reference pointer as null. Okay, initially the information is, so first of all see the representation so that you can come to know what is the linked list, structure of the linked list. Okay, this is the structure. Okay, see the diagram. In this diagram you can visualize that each node in the linked list is having such type of representation, in which the first part is holding what is called as data and other one is holding the reference. Okay, and the entire thing which is in front of you is called as one node, and linked list is collection of such type of nodes altogether. Yes or no? Is that clear, students? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is collection of two things. One is data and other is reference, and this type of nodes will be combined all together to form a linked list. Okay, now few more basics we will add in this particular discussion. Head node and last node. Starting node of the linked list is called as head node, and last node with reference pointer as null is called as last node. Okay, last node, which is if linked list is empty, in that case it is pointing to the null. Okay, now here data is any kind of data type. It can be integer, it can be character, it can be float, it can be double. Okay, and reference pointer, it holds the address of the next node, so its type is pointer. Okay, so basically as the node is collection of some data type along with other data, pointer is different data type, integer is different data type, character is different data type. So this is combination of two different data types altogether, and which kind of facilities available in the programming, who is responsible for holding all these things all together. Okay, so we have to have the grouping of two different data types. Okay, heterogeneous data types in a single we can say single container, and for that the container who is responsible for holding two different types, two or more than two types of different data type, is nothing but a structure. Okay, so a data type who is responsible for collecting different data types all together in a single container, that data type is called as structure, and generally we are using structures for representing nodes of a linked list. Okay, so this point is clear. Hello, is that clear? What is the reason of using structure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can give your answer in chat box also, no issue. Okay, so it is collection of pointer as well as different data types. So here generally 99 or 100% we are using structure for combining these things all together. Okay, so data is hold, so simple structure representation is there consisting of integer and the star pointer next. Okay, who is responsible for holding first integer data type and other one is pointer data type in a single container, and that single container is represented as structure, and the node is represented by this structure data type. Okay, this is the general policy by means of which we can able to represent any node of linked list data and its reference. Okay, so keep in mind all these things, because to understand the representation of array using linked list, all these things requires. Okay, that's why I'm telling all these things. Now see, to create or allocate memory for 3 nodes. To create as well as allocate memory for 3 nodes. Okay. The representation is like this. Suppose I want to have 3 values in a linked list. First value is 10, second value is 20, third one is 30. Okay, for that, how can I write a program? So see, a structure is defined. Structure node, which is consisting of information data, first information data, and other one is pointer to the next. And for that, we will assign 3 different types of pointers like head pointer, middle pointer, last pointer. And for each case, we will assign some memory. Okay, and with the help of malloc, we can able to assign the allocation of memory can be considered for each type of node. Okay, structure node. It may be a head node, it may be middle node, or it may be last node. Okay. So simply just these are the backgrounds. I think you have done all these things in unit number 2. Now this is very important. So I want your 100% concentration here. I will reduce so that it will be visualized clearly. Okay. So now see what happens in this particular representation. Now initially head is pointing to the some location, middle is pointing to other location, and last is holding some memory location. These numbers 1024 is memory location, 2024 is memory location, 3024 is another memory location, and these 3 pointers are holding these values. Head is holding, head is at 1024, middle is at 2024, last is at 3024. Okay, so it is consisting of the first part of this diagram is a stack memory. And see now the change is happening with the if now we have to insert information on that particular location by considering the basics of linked list. So linked list is holding 2 types of information in a node. First one is data and other one is pointer to the next node. So first of all, see the right part of this representation where heap memory is considered. So conversion of the stack to the heap is with the help of the memory addresses which are available in this. Yes, so first of all, the memory address retrieval is there for the first pointer 1024 is considered here. Then the first element which we have to insert in this particular case, we have to assign head as 10. So we will pass the value on this particular address 1024 10. Then the second value 20 will be passed to next pointer 2024 memory location. Then the third 30 will be transferred to 3024. Okay, so likewise we will consider head node, middle node, and last node similar to the given representation. Head is consisting of value 10, that is data, middle is consisting of 20, and last is consisting of 30. And all these things will be kept on some memory location, and the numbers basically is representing the memory locations 1024, 2024, 3024. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you. Okay, now the linking. Now see the linking, how this linking is happening. Now first of all, what is the initial value where this the first element is to be, first data will be inserted. The initial value memory location is 1024. On that 1024 we are responsible for holding the data 10. Now which is the next subsequent memory location 2024 where we have to insert the another value, that is 220. That's why in the first node, heap node, you can see in the heap node the reference is made with the address value 2024 and it is pointing to the next middle node, and on that middle node 20 is inserted. Like this you can go for third. So we are keeping last node on which location 3024, on that particular location the information 30 has to be inserted. That's why the location, that means the memory address 3024 will be kept in the second part of middle node. 3024 you can observe that it is in the second part of middle node because it is specifying the next address, and on that next address we are responsible for keeping the third value, that is 30. And one thing you can observe that in the last node, second part is null. Reason is there is no memory, there is no data which is to be inserted ahead of 30. That's why it is considered as null. Okay, so due to this reason, it is written as null. So, is that clear? It is very important. See the linking, how the linking is happening. Initially, on this, see here, initially on 10 is on which memory location you can observe in the diagram. 10 is on the memory location 1024. This is the next location 2024. And on that, which data is to be inserted 20. Then who is the next memory address 3024. On that, which data is required 30. And after that, there is no data. That's why last node, second part is kept as null. Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this complete information can be visualized in the single representation like this. Now, currently, which is the head? 10 is the head. Okay. And head node is consisting of information 10. And the next memory address which is held inside this head is 2024. On that 2024, which information is required? 20. And that will be 20 will be kept on 2024. And which is the next value required? 30 will be kept in the last node, and on which address it is holding? 3034. Now 3024 will be holding 30, and last node second part is kept as null. Okay, so either you can visualize like this or you can visualize like this. It is, you can horizontally as well as we can visualize it vertically, no issue. If you have the vertical representation, in that case pointer representation is there. Same thing is represented with the horizontal representation, where each node is holding two parts. One is data and other is memory reference. Memory reference to the next node. Is that clear? Is that clear? Both the representations?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Any doubt in this? Roll number 30? 13, 10, 213. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Good. Now, considering these basics, if I want to print all these things, in that case, what I will do? I will use temp. One temp variable will be used. Okay. Temporarily, if I want to print all these values, okay. Suppose I want to print 10, 20, 30. In that case, I will use one temporary variable. Okay. Create a temporary node and assign the head's address to it. Then second, print the data which is present in the temp node. After printing the data, move to the temp to the next node and do the above process until we'll reach to the end. Okay. So same thing is represented with the visualization. Check here. One temp is assigned to head. Okay. And with respect to that shifting, the temp is moves to the next point. So first of all, it is assigned to 10, then it is assigned to 20, then it assigns to 30. And likewise, the last thing, temp is assigned to the null. Reason is there is no data or there is no node after 30. That's why every time, see, first step number 1, temp is assigned to 10. Then this 10 will be printed. Then in second step, temp will be assigned to the next node, that is middle node consisting of value 20. Then it will be printed. Then temp is assigned to the third node, that is last node, having a value 30, and temp will be printed. So likewise, we will print one after another all these things. And at last, temp will be assigned to the last node. So simple steps we can follow with the help of this. Okay, so create a temporary node and assign the heads node address to it. Print the data which present in the temp node. After printing the data, move to the temp to the next node. Okay, and at last do the procedure till we'll get the null value. Okay, so this way we can go for same thing is represented with the help of this code. If you want to print all these things, we can do one after another. Okay. Now, this is very important. For that, first of all, tell me the point how to insert the node in at the beginning of the linked list. Is that thing is clear to you in previous lectures? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So how to insert? It is for yes from all. Yes or no? In turn, you can give your answer. Roll number 1. Roll number 1, 2, 3. First, yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to insert a node in a linked list at the beginning?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those who not comfortable with this, okay, for them, I will have again a small discussion on this. Okay, if you're not clear about all this, in that case, I will show you the steps by means of which we can able to insert the, because it requires for the further discussion. Whatever we are going to do in stack, for that all these things are required. So for this, let's have one small video. Okay, I will show you something so that it will be very much clear to you. So let us take one video for this.
Hi friends, in this video we are going to learn how to insert a node at the beginning of a
Just a minute.
class.
Is that audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First, we'll insert a new node at the beginning of a linked list, and we are passing the value of new node to the function, which will be stored in variable.
Is that audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so just go through this. It is very useful information.
VAL. Now suppose our linked list is empty, so head equal to null, and now we are going to insert the element 10. So val equal to 10 here, and first of all this malloc here will be creating a new node for a new element, and we know we have two parts for a node in a linked list. The data part to store the value and the next part as the reference to the next node. So a new node is created at address 1024. Now add the value 10 in the data part, and since we want to insert a node at the beginning, it should be inserted immediately before the head. So the next part should point to the head, but head equal to null since linked list is empty now. Now the new node is created and make it the head of the linked list. Now the head will hold its address 1024. Now let us insert another element 20 to this linked list. So now val equal to 20, and the malloc will be creating the new node and add 20 at the data part, and next should point to the head. And head is at 1024, so next equal to 1024. So 20 is pointing to the head now. And now make 20 the head of the linked list, and it is at address 2024. Now let us insert another element 30. So val equal to 30, and malloc will create a new node and add 30 at the data part, and next will point to the head. So it will have value 2024. Now make node 30 the head of the linked list, and it is at address 3024. So that is how we insert the node at the beginning of a linked list. So create the new node, make it point to the head, and at last make it the head. Now let us relate this with a train. So we know we have an engine followed by a number of coaches in a train. So let the engine be our head and the coaches be the nodes of the head. So let this be a node with data and next or link path. So suppose we have the train empty. So a new block A is added. So make it the engine which is equivalent to head in our linked list. Now let us insert another block B that will become the engine. Now insert another block C that will become the engine. Now insert another block D that will become the engine. Same happens with linked list in this case, and whenever you add a new node, it becomes the head. So that's it. Now about the time complexity, since we don't need any.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I want more replies. Only one is telling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So take an example of train, and if you want to add a new, we can say compartment. In that case, we are moving the engine to the next part, and we are adding afterwards. Okay, so likewise we are going for reverse case, and in linked list we are doing same thing. Okay, we are adding the nodes from left to right. Okay. Now we'll continue. Now, the same thing, same analogy we can have with the particular example where we have to insert we have to insert element 100. Okay, and assume we have a linked list of 3 elements, 20, 30, 40, and null. Okay, last is null. And if you insert 100, it will be added at the beginning of the linked list. Okay, after insertion, you can see the information can be look like this. Okay, we want to insert the element at the beginning. For that reason, we are doing all these things, and for that we will follow 4 steps of the algorithm. First step is declare head pointer and make it as a null initially. In the video also we have seen the same thing. Okay, we will declare head pointer and initially it is null. Okay, then create a new node with given data. Okay, so we'll create one new node with the given data. For example, here data is given as 10, then 10, then 20, then 30, like this. Okay, and then make the new node points to the head node. Okay, then finally we will make a new node as its head node. Okay, so initially visual representation, we can see that initially head is assigned to null because the linked list is empty. Okay, now we will insert 10. So where it will be inserted at some memory location 1024, the information will be inserted, that is 10. And now the second part of this representation, that is node, is null because there is no data in the linked list. That's why the second part you can observe in this particular case, it is kept as null. And this head is now pointing to that null. Okay, so you can visualize this representation after insertion of 10 in an empty linked list. The representation can be like this. Okay, 10 and null, and head is pointing to the 10 value. Okay, so a newly allocated node with data as 10, head points to the null. Okay, and it will goes to the next element. Now which element we have to insert now? 20. If suppose I want to insert 20 after this 10, in that case what things will be happening? Now see, 20 will be, for this 20 new node is created, and it will be created at the location 2024, and the data will be kept in this particular node 20, and the second part of this will be shifted to the second part of this representation. Second part of this node will be holding the address of the head pointer. Now what is the head pointer address? 1024, and on that what value is kept? 10 value is kept. So you can see the visualization can be like this. This new node is created 20 on the location 202. New node is created with the value 20 on the location 2024, and it is holding the address of the previous node, which is having value 10. And what is that address? 1024. Yes. Now, if I want to have the next insertion, that is 30, same thing is repeating. 30 will be, new node is created with the value 30, and it will hold the address of the previous node, that is second node, which is created for value 20, and its address is 2024, will be kept inside this newly created node 2024, and second node will be as it is 20, and what value will be holding, what memory address will be holding in this case? 1024, and that last initial node is 10. Initial node is having value 10, and which will be kept on the memory address 1024. Like this, if you insert the values, the things will be added in the representation. Okay, so this way things will be added. So this is the thing, final outcome. After adding three values, okay, in the node, we can have such type of representation. Okay, so this much is sufficient for moving for the representation of stack using linked list. So I hope everyone is clear about how we can able to represent a linked list, okay, with the help of node, and what are the compartments of the node, okay, what is inside the node. Basically, node is consisting of data and reference to the next node. Okay, so this way the separation is there with the each and every node of the linked list, and with this basics we can go for representation of stack. Okay, and keep in mind, stack is consisting of the linear structure in which we are responsible for holding different elements altogether of similar kind, but with the help of linked list we can have chance of combining the different data types element altogether with the help of this linked list. So basically, see here, there are some drawbacks associated with the stack using array, and for that we will give some solutions. Okay, that's why in last lecture told you that there is one slide. I think you are remembering that slide, yes or no? In that there is a advantages, disadvantages sort of thing is there, and with that on that particular point, I said that once we'll start the discussion of linked list, we'll come to know what are the drawbacks and what are the shortfalls associated with the array, and how that can be overcome with the help of linked list. So basically, the main and important thing which is there in this particular representation is stack using array is having few drawbacks. Like if you implement the stack using array, then we need to specify the array size at the beginning. This thing we have seen in last lecture as well as in practical. Are you agree on this? Yes. First statement. Are you agree on this particular thing? Hello?
Yes,
Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
You can give your answer in chat box, no issue. Chat window. This is the important thing which is in front of you. Using array. Okay. Go ahead. If you have any confusion in this particular statement, you can raise your concern, can ask me. If you have any confusion with this statement which is in front of you. Okay. So initially we have to specify the size of the array. Okay, this is one of the major drawback. Okay, if you implement the stack using array, we need to specify the array size at the beginning. Okay, that means at the compile time. We cannot change the size of array runtime. So it will only work for a fixed number of elements. Okay. Other thing, this is the drawback. Advantage is it will process fast. Okay, as far as the performance is concerned, stack using array is having more performance compared to linked list. Okay, again, I will give reason of this particular thing after completion of the implementation of or whatever discussion we will do in this lecture. Okay, after that you will come to know that the whatever statement just now I made, that means the processing time which is required for stack using array is less compared to the implementation using linked list. Okay, then another thing, we cannot change the size of array at runtime, so it will take only fixed number of elements. So we can not have dynamic kind of provision against this particular array. That's why we are going for stack using linked list representation. Okay, so what are the solutions for this? We can implement the stack using linked list, and in linked list we can change its size at any time. Okay, runtime we can able to change the size of the array. That is the major disadvantage, not disadvantage, major advantage against using array. Okay, instead of using array, if you use linked list, we can able to change the size of the array at any time during the execution. This is one of the important and major thing which is we need to consider. Okay, now as in first lecture itself we have seen what are the major two things which are associated with the stack, major two functions. Yes, which are the two major operations which are associated with the stack?
Push and pop.
Correct, push and pop. So same thing we can implement with the help of, we can able to represent with the help of linked list. So we will go for the push function, okay, and then we will go for the pop function. Okay, so we should create the linked list in reverse order. This statement is very important. We should create the linked list in reverse order so that head node will always point to the last inserted data. Okay, now using this method we can access the last inserted element in the constant time. Reason is we are implementing stack. Okay, we are implementing stack, and what is the role of stack? Stack is having a principle of working that is last in first out. Okay, so we have to maintain a linked list in reverse order so that one who is inserted at the last will be retrieved first. Okay, that is what the major concern of using linked list for a stack. Okay, if it is queue, in that case things will be different. For queue, last first in first out. Okay, as far as this stack is concerned, last in first out principle is working. That's why this thing is very much important, and these are the things, these are the important topics which will be asked in your online examination. Okay, this will be asked in online examination. 99% such type of questions will be there in your online examination. Reason of using the representation of linked list in a reverse order for stack, because we know that stack is having a basic principle of working that is last in first out. That's why the representation should be in a reverse order, so that we will, as soon as we'll insert the element, that element will be retrieved first. That is what major concern, and for that reason we are having this statement. Okay, so try to get all these statements very clearly, because it has each and every statement is having its own meaning and importance. Okay, so we should create a linked list in reverse order so that a head node will always point to the last inserted data, and using this method we can access the last inserted element in the constant given time. Okay, like suppose we have inserted the value 10, then inserted the value 20, then inserted the value 30. In that case, head will points to 10, and this 10 will be holding the null pointer. Reason is initially the linked list is empty, and due to that only head part is considered in this critical case, and that head part is holding value 10. Then the next thing is 20 will be inserted. After inserting 20, head becomes 20, and subsequently it will assign the next node that is 10, and it is having its own second part null. So likewise, we can go for the third value, insertion of third value, that is 30. Head, now head will tends to 30, then 20, then 10, then last thing, that is null. Okay, so this way things are. If I want to insert suppose 100, in that case 100 will be, now head becomes 100 and the chain will be like this, list will be like this, one after another. Okay, then the algorithm, how this algorithm works: create a new node with given data, similar to the insertion that we have seen in previous slides. We have to create an empty node, and in that empty node we have to create, initially we have to create an empty node, and after that we have to create new node, okay, for the given data. For example, for 10, for 20, for 30, every time we have to give the new node for the given data. Then second thing, make the new node point to the head node. Of course, we are doing the same thing. Okay, make the new node which will point to the head node. Then now make the new node as a head node. Okay, so every time we are doing the same thing. Okay, here also initially there is no data. In that case, list is empty. After that, insert 10, create new node, insert 10, and after create insertion of 10, assign that head to the 10, like this. After insertion of each and every element, we are following these 3 steps: step 1, step 2, and step. One more step is hidden here. Which is that step? Can you tell me? Anyone can tell me what is the hidden step? Yes, Mugdha, roll number 32. I want to insert 3 elements, 10, 20, and 30. For that, I am following this algorithm. One step is not shown in this. Which is that step? What is the assumed thing? That is my question.
Sir, first node it should point to null.
Correct. 100% correct. Are you agree on this? All of you? Yes. Answer is 100% correct. Yes. Good. Yes. Correct. Okay, that means you are with me. Good. Now, same thing is there. Now, insertion of 10. New node assignment. 10 is inserted. Okay, same things are there. 10 is inserted. Okay, new node is created. Initially null is, head is null. Okay, initially the linked list is empty. Okay, and this thing is 10 is inserted in the first node with the memory location 1024. Okay, now will you able to draw for the second case similar kind of diagram? Just draw the diagram and can share. I want to insert 20. For insertion of 20, how the representation will look like? That is my question. Easily you can draw the diagram. Take a paper, just draw the diagram and just show me the diagram. Attendance link is there in that window. Everyone give the attendance. Roll number 4 is, I think, absent.